On the devastated battlefields of World War II, where mud, fire, and steel consumed entire landscapes and survival depended on seconds of decision-making, one German tank commander rose to a level that few armored soldiers in history ever reached. A tiger ace whose calm under pressure, mastery of terrain, and ruthless precision allowed him to destroy more than 140 enemy tanks. An achievement that turned him into both a symbol of battlefield dominance and a psychological weapon, as Allied tank crews learned to fear the sudden crack of an 88mm gun emerging from forests, ruins, or distant ridgelines, knowing that a single well-placed shot from a Tiger could end their fight instantly. And for a time, this ace seemed unstoppable, proving that superior training, tactical awareness, and advanced engineering could still overwhelm larger forces. Yet while he was winning individual engagements and carving his name into the brutal history of armored warfare, the larger war was quietly being decided beyond the sound of cannons, inside enormous industrial complexes thousands of miles away, particularly in the United States, where Detroit transformed from the capital of automobile manufacturing into the beating heart of Allied military production, converting civilian factories into nonstop war machines that produced Sherman tanks, engines, ammunition, and spare parts at a scale Germany could not even begin to match. Operating around the clock with a philosophy that valued speed, simplicity, and replaceability over perfection, meaning that every Sherman destroyed by the Tiger Ace was not a decisive blow, but merely a temporary loss, quickly erased by the arrival of fresh tanks, new crews, and endless supplies, slowly turning the battlefield into a test of endurance rather than skill. As Germany struggled under the weight of complex designs, limited raw materials, fuel shortages, and constant Allied bombing campaigns that shattered supply lines and crippled repairs, forcing elite Tiger crews to abandon powerful machines simply because they could not move them or keep them running, while Allied air superiority stalked the battlefield from above, making every movement dangerous and every pause potentially fatal. Until the Tiger Ace realized that no matter how flawless his tactics were or how many tanks he destroyed, he was fighting a system rather than an army, an enemy whose true strength lay not in individual machines or soldiers, but in industrial capacity, logistics, and the relentless rhythm of assembly lines that never stopped, never tired, and never ran out, revealing a harsh truth of modern warfare that heroism and technical superiority, while deadly in battle, cannot defeat an opponent who can outproduce, outsupply, and replace losses faster than they can be inflicted. And so the man who destroyed 140 enemy tanks did not ultimately fall because of a lack of courage, skill, or experience, but because the nature of war itself had changed, transforming factories into battlefields, workers into soldiers of production, and assembly lines into weapons more powerful than any cannon, until finally the Tiger Ace, a legend of steel and fire, was defeated not by another tank or another commander, but by an American factory whose endless production sealed the outcome of the war long before the final shots echoed across Europe.